Welcome to a Manic Monday, and we are having fun with this side project, so we're going to actually continue with it for a stream or two, and we have basically done a little bit of work since last night, so anybody that's been watching, here's a little look at what we have. We have now sort of separated our minimap. We have turned it into black and white, which I don't know if we'll do that or not. We have added some sound, which doesn't seem to be looping, but that's okay. And we have now done our particle effects for breaking wood. We need to do a sound effect for that. We're doing a sound effect for picking up these things. And I'm going to show you something. We've got a nice little pickup thing, and here's what we're going to work on, right? We're going to work on these doors. Now I'll show you the reason. Now those doors are open okay when they open out the way, okay, but you'll notice that if you run straight through, then they don't work so well. So what we're going to do with that is we're going to make them open out the way all the time, or at least that is the plan. Now to do that, what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to get the forward vector of our player, and we're actually going to break this, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to compare that to the forward vector of our door. So if I get a reference to self, okay, from the door, and then I get a forward vector, right, then what we're going to do is compare these two, okay, and what we'll do is we shall append these to get a good look at what we're going to be dealing with here, okay, and then we're going to do a print string there, right, and as we come into the door we want to know what we're doing. We'll add a pin, and we shall basically do a little bit of a spacey thing. Then we shall say player X, then that, and then X, okay, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3, then we shall say door X, and then we shall do that. Then we'll stick it in white so we can see it, right? and then we'll stick it on for 30 seconds. Okay. So, let's have a look and see how that goes. And here we have a door, right? So x and x is -1. And if we go through it the other way, we've got a plus and a -1. Right? So, hey Sumit Panagraphy, it's basically me making a base game to help students, okay? To do a few things in the Unreal Engine based things like, for example, let's say a mini map, pickups, creating stuff, doors, smashing bricks, windows, opening doors, and then basically countdown timers, all that kind of stuff, right? Now, we don't want the door to go towards the player, okay? We want the door to always go away from the player, okay? So, you just do a sequence. I haven't worked a hell of a lot, and it's been some time since I've done anything with sequences, but that's how you do it. Okay. Now, I'm just going to have a laugh here. What I'm going to do, you can either do that, or you can record it as like a WMV, and then just play the WMV back. It just depends how you want to do it, right? There's, as with all things, as with all things in Unreal Engine, there's a lot of different ways you can do it, right? So basically what I'm trying to do here is, this is going to end up a mess to start with, but we're not really worried about that. What we basically do is we get these two things here, right? And I'll tell you what we'll do. We're just going to try this for a laugh, right? This is just for a giggle, to see how it works, if at all. And we'll multiply this by this, right? and then we're going to do is greater than 0, and then we'll branch that, right? And if it's greater than 0, we will multiply this by -1. So we can try this either way. So that's going to go in there, right? And that's going to go in there. So we'll do that. Then we shall duplicate this. And if it's false, we'll basically not multiply it by -1. Okay? And our target is the door. Save that. Oh, you could also do it, there's one more option. If you place different cameras in the scene, you could fade between the cameras, okay? And basically what it does is it moves between cameras. So if you place them in the right places, it would look like a cutscene. Like if you want to do a fly through. That's the third way to do it. It just depends on what your cut screen's going to be like. Right? So I should really set up a right, so right, it looks like it should go the other way. Right? So basically we're doing it this way. As I said, it'll depend on what your cutscene is, right? If it's just like a static with you can also set up like a camera pulley where you make the camera roll through a scene. But again, it all depends. It all depends what your cutscene is. If it's a fly through the level kind of thing, then it's going to be a different thing from if it's characters sitting around a table telling the story at the start. You know, it just depends. So there isn't really it's going to depend on your use case, is how you approach it, right? Right. I don't know why Unreal Engine 5 does this, by the way. Like, 1 minute it will run absolutely smooth as silk, and the next minute it's just jumpy as hell. You'll see there, it's absolutely fine. Right. Now, that's going the wrong way. Again. Right, so let's check this one out. Right, that's going toward me. Right, now if I turn around, that's going towards me. No. No, there won't be any weapons in this. This is like Pac-Man in 3D, kinda. Right? So it looks to me like this is actually going to be the wrong way around. Right, so if we do that, and we press play, that me went back to the initial position. Right, so that's not right. Okay, so that's no good. Right. So basically, we want to go back. I've already got that, mate. I've just not got the monster in at the moment, because I was mucking about it last night, and I took the monster out. I made a new level, rebuilt it, and I just never put the monster back in yet. Right, so and here we go again when it gets jumpy as hell. I'll show you the monster, right? Hang on a second. Monster already uses sight. Alright, well thanks for doing that. Add it to your wish list. Right, so right, I'm losing track in my place here, but won't worry about that too much. Right, these are all music things, because I'm beginning to add some sound, because it gets a bit dull if you don't. So if we look at this guy, we can bring him in. Yeah, it's still in early access because I've basically not had that many sales, so I can't really test it, so I can't balance it, so I have to really say it's still in early access because it ain't actually finished until I can get some testing done on it. Right, so here's a monster, right? Nice monster. And I don't actually think I have a navigation mesh on this level yet. Right, so we're going to add volume, nav mesh bounds. That isn't it. So let's get the right thing here. Did it again. Right. I don't know how big that is, but it's pretty big. Right, we're going to do that. 10. Okay, that covers the whole thing. That'll do. That'll do for now. Right, so if we hit P, are you going to do a nav mesh bounce? Or are you going to just sit there and look at me? Oh, there he is. Okay. Right. Right, apparently my nav mesh bounds is too high. Right, that should work a bit better. Yeah, because now it's building navigation. Right, there's my dude. We can now hit P. And there we go. We have... That's... Oh yeah, of course. Now, that'll actually do. And it's doing its thing again. It's doing its weird stuff. It's as if it's still actually computing stuff here. Right. Here it comes. And we can actually get away, don't worry. You see? We're away. Yeah, we got away when we went round the corner. Oh no! He's coming for me! That is 5. I'm working on 5. I work in both. Just depends how I feel today. One project I've got in 4.27, one I've got in 5. The reason I don't work in 5 is because all the plugins don't work. Not saying all of them don't work, I'm saying some of them don't work. And it crashes a lot in comparison to previous versions, so yeah. So it's a maze, there's doors. You can go through the doors, pick up the things. You can see down to the left there you've got your mini map. Okay. Now, the interesting thing there is I can actually change the minimap, right? Which I'm thinking about doing. I was just mucking about with this, right? Let's get me back. I've got a lot of these open for no reason whatsoever. Right, if we go to the minimap, right, and we go to this, right, I've got it saturating at the moment, but, or desaturating. To go to black and white, but I can do it in colour. And what I was going to do is actually just desaturate the green and blue channels, and then just leave the red channel, so that I can have all my markers in red, and then the rest of it in black and white, which should make it stick out a bit more. So you'll notice now that we've got our minimap is in right. Right, and in actual fact, right, but what we need to do here is we've got a little bit of a problem. Well, it's not a problem, but we can fix it. Oh yes, we can fix it, all right. If we go to our first person, right, and then well, this is weird. Well, I'm guessing. Well, thank you, Summy. That's kind of you, mate. That's very kind. Right, so top does it, that does it, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add to this again. Right, and it's going to be BP pickup, and that isn't going to go in there. Right, then we'll say append, we'll delete that, we'll plug that in there, we'll get these. Wait a minute, that's not going to work. Because that's going to take away our actual pickups. So this is a bad idea. So we're probably going to have to delete this again straight away, which is fine. Yeah. Knew that was a bad idea. So we'll take that away. join this back up. Compile that. Right. I wonder. Right, my problem here is that this door wherever it is. I wonder. Invert rotator. Right, now this is going to go from 0 to 1.5. Right. Okay, so we've got two different. Okay. Right, so this actually would go with this here. So I just need to work this out, to be fair. And this actually doesn't go like that. And I've completely forgotten again how to do that. That goes to there. That goes to there. We'll drag this down out of the way, right? that goes to there. Okay. And this goes to there. As I said, we're going to have to work this out. This is slightly more complicated now. Okay. So we are basically going to have to work out how to get the door to go away from us. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a short break. I need a comfort break and a cigarette. So if you're enjoying the stream, hit the subscribe and like, and we shall be back just shortly. Don't go anywhere. Okay guys, we're back and we've had a little think about this and we're going to do this the easy way, right? We are going to do this the easy way. We're going to get our door and we've got a box, and what we're going to do is we're going to move it. Okay, we're going to try and move it. Right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to have an inside and an outside, right? So we're going to have that, and then we're going to duplicate it. Right, so we should have box 1. Okay. And that's right on the edge. Then we shall select this box and we shall do the same thing. Okay. So we've got our 2 boxes, and what we're going to do is when we hit 1, this one will open it out, right? And then when you leave the other one, it's going to bring it back in. And if you open it, if you hit this one, it's going to open it in, and then when you exit that one, you're going to bring it back in again, right? So that's the idea. Okay, so we're going to redo some of this, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to add a variable, and we're going to say is opening. Okay. Now we're going to delete that, right? And we're going to bring this back in. Right, and we aren't going to do that, and we are not going to do that, right? And the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to get this, and then we're going to branch on it. And we're going to say not boolean. We're going to drag this in here and get this in here. and we're going to delete that and that. Right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get it working for 1. Okay. Okay. So let's do this first. We're going to press play. Right, so that's going to close. Right, but it's not going to close right, and then what we'll do is we set this to true. Then we do the same thing here. Compile that. Right. And this is doing its crazy. Right, we're gonna have to stop that for now. Try again. Right. So now what we need is our second box. Right. We want to check that if this is overlapping then we branch on this and we do nothing. So this is actually going to be a knot. Right? And basically we check is opening, right? So we do this again. Now we're probably going to have to do this here as well, but for the moment we'll leave it there. Right? And then this is box 1. End overlap, and that should be play that there. Okay. Then this should be the same thing but multiplied by -1. In theory. And what we've got to do here is copy that and then set ourselves to not opening anymore. Right? Compile that. And that did not fire. So I'm thinking that this probably isn't long enough. Okay. And right, so it's jerky as hell. Still jerky as hell. And it's still as jerky as hell. Right. I'm almost getting to play it as a standalone. Don't know how you do it in this one, mind you. Take it's in here somewhere. Yeah. Try this in standalone mode, see if it works better. Come on. Right, so that's not doing its thing. So that doesn't make any difference whatsoever. Stop that for now, and we want a breakpoint in here. Right, okay. That should not be that. Right, that's okay. Right, so that should be going in there. Right, and then we basically copy these. Right, now what we do here is we say is overlapping box 1. Okay. And then we say not bool and then we can branch this. Right, now we're gonna have to do this for the other ones, but that's okay. We'll gradually get there in the end, as we always do. Right, and for this one, we're going to kind of do the same thing. Going to give ourselves a bit more space. And we're going to duplicate that, if we can remember what the right duplicate is for Unreal Engine 5. Right. I'm going to drag this off a bit. And this is actually going to be here, and that's not going to be box 1, that's going to be box. Okay. Right. So we're gradually getting near to where we need to be. right? And we shall duplicate that and pop it in here. And we'll see what more we need to do in a minute. But I think we're nearly there. Right, we'll delete that for now. We'll duplicate that, but it has to be going to true. And then this is going to go here. There. Then we'll go to here and there. Okay. So we might be one little thing out here, but we shouldn't be too far away. Right, so that's not right. Whoops. Right, so we're going to have a look at this box here. Right, and this is box 1. Right. Box 1 should be minus. We'll just check that on the door. Yep. Box 1 should be minus. So that's right. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to do that. And we're going to do that. We're going to change this to, let's say, 1. Right, and it's going to be minus 120. Compile that. And we'll go from there and see what happens. We are super jumpy again. Frame rate down to about 5 frames a second for some reason. Right, well that's weird. That's box. Okay. We'll resume that for now. Right. So, it appears to me that these are the wrong way round. Okay. Right. So what we'll do in the meantime is we'll take these out so we don't need to worry about them. So we're just dealing with this one side of the door. Okay. Right. We're going to have to disable that breakpoint so we can see what's going on. Right. Okay. So that's breaking there. That's causing us an issue. Wow. Right. There's something weird going on here. What we're going to do is multiply that, right? Multiply that by -1. Right, that can go in the yaw. That can go in the update. That can go in there. Oh. Right. Okay. So we're going to quickly grab a drink. I should be back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Alright, we're back. And let's try this again, shall we? Well, that's freaking weird. Right. Step over. That suggests that's true. That can't be true. Step over. It's overlapping box 1. Right, that suggests that these two boxes are too close. Right? Because that's getting fired when the two boxes, box 1 oh bollocks. Right, stop bloody doing that. Let's call it. Actually, right, and we'll go to box, and that can be 0.1. Compile that. Right, these are the little problems you have when doing this, that things don't quite work as you'd expect them to. Right, now there's no way I should be overlapping that other box. No freaking way. True. Right, there's no way I should be overlapping that other box. Absolutely zero. Right? Then go to box 1. It is kind of closer though. Right, I think what we'll do is we'll make that point. No. that should be 1. But that should be 96. Right, in box 1, you can be 96 as well. Right. Right. So we'll go to box. That should be 84. That's going to be 100. And that's way too close. Right, so this is on the edge of that. Right, that's cool. That can go to there. Right. Now, there's absolutely no way that this should overlap. But there's no way it should be overlapping them both. Right? How can that be true? Right. We're going to stop that. Right, this is really weird. I don't get it. I don't get it. We're going to have to put an event tick on here. Right. Right, so we're going to do that. And BP. Get overlapping components, right? For each. display name. Print string. Right, I want to see what we're overlapping. When we run up to this box. Right? But it helps if I plug the damn thing in. Right, this is kind of the way it goes sometimes, especially on a stream. Right, everything seems to go kind of bad. Like nothing seems to work like it should. Right, box 1. And we're now overlapping box. But not box 1. Box 1. So this is definitely on the inside, right? Right. So how in the Gordon Bennett are we overlapping that? Box 1, other side. No, that's box 1. Box 1 is in the inside. Right, so wait a minute. And that shouldn't be box 1. And that's all the crap as well. It should be box 1 overlap is this top one. Right. And that should be box. Right. That should be it. But should be that. Hey, Sumit Pagrafi. You're back, are you? Right. So, yep, that's fine. Right, okay. We've got it sorted now. We're on the ball. Right, so we can delete that. Right. Well, at least it's recommending me for something. Okay, fire away. What's the question? And this one should be box 1. Unlikely. This is, I did this because I do some one-to-one training, okay, teaching. And basically, one of my students was kind of interested in a game like this. So I basically did this so I can help him do what he wants to do. I'm not really interested in either fighting games or first-person shooters. It's just not something that tickles my fancy. Right, and this one is going to be the minus. And this is going to be -1. Okay. No likey that. That's because that's not in there. Right, so let's have a try at this. Now, I don't think this is quite right yet, because we're having to do like lots of double negatives here. Now, if I'm thinking correctly, it should be firing this. Well, no, I don't. Right? I trick you into thinking that something's happening that's not. Okay, I'm going to show you it again, right? And you can tell me what you think happens, okay? But I am tricking you into you thinking that it's doing something that it's not, right? So here we go. Right. Here we go again. Okay, how do you think I done that? And there we are, back at the start. Okay, how do you think I done that? Have a guess. I use a lot of sneaky techniques. Nope, absolutely nothing to do with chaos, nothing. So there you go, it is. It's smoke and mirrors. All I do is fire a particle system in front of you, because I know you're moving forward, right? Because you've got to move forward to trigger hitting the wood. The wood just disappears, right? And all it does is fire a particle effect in front of you. And that's it. And basically, so it can do it really quick, I've got two particle effects attached to the camera, right? And basically it flip-flops between the two. Yeah. Smoke and mirrors. You got to know your smoke and mirrors, right? You're not trying to show the player what's happening. You're trying to give them the idea of what's happening. And they'll fill in the rest with their mind, right? Like you did. Right? That's all that happened. You thought you knew what was happening, right? But you didn't. But your brain automatically fills in the space, right? So I can show you exactly what happens, right? If you watch, right? Now watch as I move up to this, right? And if I don't move, watch what happens, right? If I only move slightly. Now the player will never play it like this, right? They'll just run through the wood, right? But if you watch, right, you'll watch, the wood will just disappear and it'll play a particle effect in front of you, right? So as we come up to it, you'll notice, there you go. Right? Cool, huh? Bang. And then the final beautiful thing is when I add the sound effect, that'll just finish the whole thing off. Right? That'll just finish the whole thing off. And you'll not have an idea of what's going on. All you'll know is it looks right. Right? Now this should be the bottom one, which it is. It's an overlap. I'm pretty sure it's just a, no, yeah, it's a box, because I put the box around the whole thing so that I don't, right, I'll show you, right? Okay, so if we go to wood block, that's it. That's the code. There you go. That's your lot. Right? All it does, get the player pawn, then wood smash. Right? Wood smash basically just does this, activate, activate. That's it. Efficient, works, looks good. Right? And all we've got is 2 particle effects on the front of the camera. Right? So if we look at the camera, right? These are 2 particle effects here. Right? So these are just moved out so the player can't go through them without seeing them. Right? So you can't move between here and here before this is fired, right? So basically you get the effect that he's crashed through the wood, right? But he's not. All he's doing is killing it. Yeah, those are pickups, right? Now, there's a cooler thing about the pickups. And that's how we get them on the minimap, right? So you'll notice, right, when I press play, right, on the minimap, it's the red dots, right? And you'll be thinking to yourself, well, how's that, right? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Right? That is exactly what these are, the point pickups, or the dots in Pac-Man. Right? Okay? But you'll notice them on the minimap. Okay? Now, it's another bit of smoke and mirrors, right? And you're not going to believe this, right? But that's a widget. But if I go to the BP pickup, right, and I go to the viewport, there's just a plane, right, with a red dot on it, right? But in the game, this is under the floor. Okay, so you don't see it. But in the minimap, you can ignore actors, right? So what I do is ignore the ceiling and the floor. And now you can see the dot, right? So to show you what I mean by that, right? If we go under the ground, right, at a candle, right, here's a candle, and if we just go tiny bit below the ground, there's the dot, but it's below the ground, right? It's just slightly below the ground. So you can't see it in the game, but it gets put on the minimap once you remove the floor and the ceiling. Right? So the floor and the ceiling get removed from the minimap. And what's left is your dot. Okay? Now the cool thing is, I was doing this before actually, the dot never moves. Right? The candles never move. Yeah, exactly. So my camera, my render target camera is on the player character. Right? But I want to do something here because I actually prefer this in black and white. Right? So if I desaturate the colors, then I can actually change this to black and white. Right? Right? So now when I press play, my minimap will be in black and white. Right? Pretty cool, huh? So yeah, if I show you again here, if we look at this once again, and we look at the player character, right? If we look up, there is our render camera for the minimap. Right, now that is an orthographic camera, so it doesn't give you a sense of depth. It's just basically doing a flat image, which is why it works perfectly for the minimap. Okay, so I am just looking directly onto the player, right, and where he is on the map, and that is parented to the player character. So if he moves, the minimap moves. If he turns, the minimap turns. Right? So once again, if I show you, right, I can turn, and there's my minimap turns. I'm moving, I can pick up the things. I'm ignoring the blocks on the minimap, I think. Am I? No, I'm not. I should be, but I'm not. Right, I'll tell you what, we'll do that again, right? If I press play, I'm going to show you me removing these blocks, okay? Now you'll notice that there's a block here across, right? But I don't want to show these on the minimap, right? They're irrelevant to the minimap, right? So basically what I do is I go into the first person controller and onto begin play, and I change this to wood, right? This is how you get things done. It's 90, or maybe not 90%, I would say it's about 80% smoke and mirrors, right? You don't need to show the player, or you don't need to do exactly what the player thinks is happening. You just need to fool them into thinking that's what happens, right? Right, so now you'll notice that when we come up to a wooden block, right, there we go, it's no longer on the minimap. You'll see that it's not there, right? And there's another one up there, but it's not on the minimap, which is what we want. We don't want the wood blocks to be on the minimap. And you can see there, that works a treat. And that didn't work quite right, but let's not worry too much about that. Right. So that's that. It doesn't pick them up, right? And you lose your bonus, right? I can run past everything, right? If I move to the side here, you'll notice that I'm not picking them up, right? So if I look back away, they'll still be there, right? They're still there, but if I run through them, it'll pick them up. Okay? Now, the point here is there's actually a countdown timer. So you'll notice when I pick up a lot, yeah, it has got a score thing. There, you see, you picked up 16 pickups, right? In a row, without failing, right? It's basically, at the moment, it's easy, because it's just like, it's a countdown of 4 seconds, so you get 4 seconds to pick up each candle, right? And then it'll stop, and it'll reset, right? So if I stop, it'll tell me how many you picked up, 22. And now I can use this as, like, if you pick up 5 in a row, you get an extra 10 speed. If you pick up 10, you get an extra 20 speed, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. That's the way it works. So maybe if you pick up 50 in a row, you get invincibility for 10 seconds or whatever. But yeah, this system works, right? As you'll have seen by the fact that it comes up with the number of pickups you've got in a row. If we pick up 1 and 2, it won't do it this time, right? Because you've picked up less than 5. Yeah, sound effects are easy, right? Which is why we do them last, right? You need to work on your logic first, right? And that inside one is not working right, because that should be opening. The whole point of this was to have them opening out, okay? And I think I know why that is. And yes, I do know why that is. It's because this should not be minus anymore, because I'm doing the calculation. Right, so we should now be good that we are always opening the door out the way, right? Because in the way doesn't look right and kind of gives you, you kind of just teleport through the door rather than seeing the door open, right? Now, if you see the door open a bit, it gives it a false impression that you're opening the door and moving through it. Again, smoke and mirrors, right? Right, we're doing everything smoke and mirrors, right? Because things become awkward with doors if you don't, right? So you'll see that that works good. And there we go, right? But probably we actually want collision on the door, right? We don't really want you to be able to teleport through the door, right? So we should really probably put a bit of collision on that. But these are all little tweaks. At the moment, I'm going to say it's working as intended. It's not quite right, but the logic is correct. And that's the main thing that you've got to get right first. Okay? Well, I won't be on again until 4 hours time when I do my 8 PM Central stream. So if you've enjoyed it, hit the like and subscribe. Check out the description for Discord and ways to support the channel, Patreon and my previous game. And thank you very much for watching. And thanks very much for the chats on Meet. I appreciate it very much. And I shall see you all in 4 hours time. Bye bye for now.